simply Googles images of the apostles, disciples, or Jesus, images such as these come up. Jesus and his disciples in the Sea of Galilee, or the Synaxis meeting of the holy apostles. Because I believe the Hebrews to have been people of color, I also believe that the first Christians were also people of color. By applying more key adjectives such as African and Black to my search, I was able to find different images such as the Synaxis meeting of the Holy 12 Apostles and Christ washing the feet of the apostles. Although I find it important to promote a more accurate version of Christ and his apostles, my rhetorical objective here is to show the works of the apostles through some imagery, ultimately leading to the spread of Christianity. Here we see Christ and his disciples, one of the earliest paintings found in Cairo, Egypt, where Jesus and his disciples are depicted as men of color. This image shows Jesus worthy to be praised because of his higher positioning than the disciples, and he has a halo around his head. Standing underneath and in line with what appears to be the sun, I interpret this as the meaning the Son of God. There are only 11 disciples showing. I believe that Judas Iscariot is the disciple not present, which means this is probably post-resurrection sighting of Christ. Here we see Christ washing the feet of the apostles, a 16th century piece by Anonymous. Another Jesus of the people of the Middle East, men of color. This is in the tradition of the Johannine Christian community because Jesus is washing the apostles' feet instead of the usual bread and wine communion scene. It appears he's using the traditional chalice that Jesus drinks wine from in other gospel stories to wash their feet. In image 3, we see the synaxis of the Holy 12 Apostles. Here, Jesus is seen with all 12 apostles surrounding him. This image has all 12 names of the apostles from the upper left going clockwise: Matthew, Peter, Paul, John, James, Simon, Thomas, James, Thaddeus, Philip, Bartholomew, and Andrew. All appear to be men in their prime or even older, except for Thomas and Philip, who appear to be teenagers. In image 4, we see the Last Supper from about 1475 CE. The artist is unknown. I like this image because Jesus and the apostles are the same color as the stones surrounding them. To me, this is the Spirit of Christ is truly colorless. Here we only see 11 disciples, and you almost don't see John with his head down on the table next to Jesus. Once again, Judas Iscariot is missing. The most important works of the apostles had to be the spread of Christianity, especially to the Gentile nations. This first map shows this spread of Christian communities up to about 600 CE. This is still relevant because through their faith and works, the apostles helped to shape Christianity into the religion that we see today. You can see it spreads all over Europe, even to modern-day England, to the tip of northern Africa. The second map shows Paul's missionary journeys. The book of Acts speaks of the works of Paul in great detail. You can see he had 4 major missionary journeys, each time preaching to more and more people and journeying further from Jerusalem. First was with Barnabas, where he went to major urban centers in Asia Minor. The second by himself, evangelizing Greece. His third, revisiting Asia Minor and Greece, coming back to Jerusalem, where he was then arrested and sent to Rome, where he eventually was executed. The influence of the 12 apostles was very wide. I like this map because it shows an even greater distance of the spread of Christianity. You can see the teachings and missionary works of Andrew reaching Russia, Philip in Parthian and Persia, Bartholomew in Armenia and even India, and Matthew in Ethiopia. How about this relic from the past? I like this photo because it is a picture from 2019 of one of the oldest churches in Ethiopia, possibly in Africa. In the town of Lalibela, this is a rock church carved inside and out from a single rock, dated from the 4th to 7th century CE. There are 11 total churches in this area, this one shaped like a cross. This picture relates to a story about two Syrian men who were missionaries. On their trip, they survived a shipwreck and washed upon the shores of modern-day Ethiopia. They ended up walking into a royal court of Ethiopia. The two men impressed the monarch so much that they ended up converting the royal family to Christianity. In conclusion, whether the imagery of Jesus is this or this, the spirit in the message appears to be the same. I do believe it is important to understand that the first Christians were people of color. However, I also believe that the message is ultimately colorblind. No matter the color of Jesus or his apostles, the message was spread, and Christianity grew into the religion that we see so many believe to this day.